took myself out to dinner because I got the job at Lifetime as a trainer, so I was excited about that. And so I was like, yes, win. That same day, I'm at dinner eating, and my agent calls and is like, hey, you booked the show. And I'm like, okay, awesome.
Hey, welcome back to the Stories on Tape podcast. I'm your host, Josh Robinson, and I am very excited about today's storyteller. They have just recently made their Off-Broadway debut. Don't worry, we're going to get into it. I got to see it as well. It was fantastic. They come from the land of the Football Hall of Fame, which I'm interested to talk about as well. And if you need a good workout, he's your guy. It is Jake Kelve. Jake, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Absolutely. So before we get into all these stories that you have lined up for us, I got to know, do you have a story that you can share with us that tells us a little bit about who Jake is if we've never met you before?
Yeah, so this is kind of like a story that leads into another story, kind of.
Perfect.
So growing up, I was a magician. Okay, and when I was say magician, like close-up magic, like cards, coins, all these things. So sometimes we would go out to eat, and I have a pretty big family. I have a lot of sisters and siblings and things, so we wouldn't go out to eat often. But when we did, it was like a great time for me to be able to kind of practice my magic tricks on people. So my stepdad, after we would all order our food, he would be like, "Okay, go be free." And so I would go up to families or like older adults, doesn't matter. Keep in mind, at this point, I'm like 12, 13 years old, so I'm very young. But I would go up and like show magic tricks to people, and like I wouldn't expect any money from them or anything like that. Like I just wanted to practice my craft. So that every time we would go out to eat, that's what I would do. I'd have my cards, my coins. I would show people. And so after one time of doing that, I got business cards. I had business cards made, which ended up having me do like children's like birthday parties and different events when I was like 13 years old as a magician. So I would say like that describes me pretty well.
Jake, that's incredible, first off. And Jake and I have never met in person, but doing just a little bit of research, I love magic. It is truly one of my favorite things in this world. So what got you interested? How did you become Jake the Magician?
I don't think that there was anything like definitive that drew me to it. I think I had like I was with friends maybe, and they had cards. And the idea of magic was so interesting to me because I'd seen magic tricks before. My mom as a kid like saw David Copperfield and all this stuff, so she like told me about that, and I was like, that seems like that could be really interesting. So I remember I watched like a YouTube video once of like how to do this magic trick, and I showed it to people, and they were like, "Oh my God, that's so cool! How did you do that?" And so I think that was kind of like an icebreaker for me. And so I was like, "Wait, I could do cool magic tricks." So then just like over the years, I just like honed my craft and did the school talent show and everything. So I don't know, it's like an eclectic mix of everything that kind of made it happen.
Absolutely. And I think what that story also tells us is Jake is an extrovert. Like, there's no hiding that.
Oh, 1,000%, 1,000%.
And you mentioned too, you've got a large family. I have three sisters, three little sisters. I'm the oldest. So there's six of us when we're all together. How many is in the Kelve clan?
Yeah, so we have a kind of a separation. So my dad is remarried, and I have two stepbrothers, and I have two full sisters. And then I have three stepsisters on with my mom and my stepdad, and one half brother. So in total, three brothers and five sisters.
Wow. Okay. So how often do you all get together? Is that ever even like possible?
Yeah, so usually on my dad's side, that's separate. My mom's side with my stepdad, we actually all used to live in the same house. Me, my five sisters, my mom, stepdad, and my little brother. Yeah, it was like a Von Trapp situation, but it was a lot of fun for sure. Many, many great moments with them.
I love that. So where do you fall in the order of siblings?
Yeah, so in my full siblings, I'm the oldest. I'm like the starter of like the Cleve family, kind of like from my dad, as he's the oldest. But in terms of step siblings, all that, it's my stepsister Kristen, who's older than me. She's 4 years older than me, and then it's me, and then the rest of my sisters and the brothers kind of line up in there as well. So I'm like technically of full siblings, I'm the oldest, and then of the full family, second oldest.
Wow. So you're either way, you're leading the pack for sure.
100%. And I was the only boy for a long time. My little brother Mickey is 11 now, and I'm 23. So there's a big age gap. So for a long time, I was the women genes like really ran deep in the Cleve family. So
I can I can relate to that. I am still the only grandson on one side, but I was the oldest for just four. I was the only for 4 years, but I soaked it up. I
okay.
loved every second of it. It was so nice.
Oh,
And
100%.
then
And I'm still I get the oldest syndrome though, like on my dad's side. Since like I said, I'm like my dad is the oldest and he had a kid first and I was the first like grandchild. So I was spoiled for sure. But I appreciate that.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, now Jake, I got to go through some of your like social media, your website, and you kind of fall all over the place. I first have to know, we another thing we have in common. We were in band. Did you do it middle school
Oh
and
yeah.
high school?
I did, yeah. So I started in middle school. My school had fifth grade as the year you could start doing band and choir. So that's when I started. Yeah.
Okay, and then so what did you play, and how did that kind of like go for you through high school?
Yeah. So in band, I played trumpet. I was a trumpet player. I'm sure that's very clear based on my energy. I feel like I get like, send out trumpet waves. And so yeah, I played trumpet all throughout middle school, in just like the middle school band. And then when I got to high school, I was in our jazz band, our symphonic winds, which is like we had to audition for which band we got into. So that was our like superior band, which is really cool. And then what else? And then marching band.
And did you play trumpet the whole time?
Yeah, I played trumpet
Okay.
the whole time, and my senior year I was our band president, of course. So
Yes. Yes. I
yes.
started percussion. I did percussion in middle school, so that was everything from like xylophone, glockenspiel, the big bass drum, the timpani drums. I attempted
Okay.
drumline my freshman year of high school. In case you didn't know, marching band, you do have to march and play at the same time. I wasn't good at that part. So they
Okay.
moved me to the pit, and I played like the bongos, the glockenspiel. I want to say the gong at some point. Then I joined choir
Okay.
and theater and was much happier with my life. So
Yes.
I didn't have to stand outside for 2 weeks every summer. It was just better overall.
100%. I will say though, I actually did enjoy marching band. My uncles, I don't know if you're familiar with like drum corps,
Yeah.
but drum corps is like, yeah, like professional marching band kind of. But my uncles marched in the Bluecoats, and so marching band was always really fun for me because I was like the annoying kid that was like, we should do these visuals because we were a competition band, and so I there was like a little bit of my dance spiced into there. I think that's kind of what helped plant a seed there.
Absolutely. Did you ever get to see your uncle's march, or was that before your time?
It was before my time, before I was born.
That's so cool. I love anytime any of those videos come up on my social media, I stop, I watch.
Oh,
I think it's so cool.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You also grew up, I want to make sure, yes, Canton, Ohio, correct?
Oh yes,
Which I did not know this, but is the home of the Football Hall of Fame. Did
it
Was that
is.
like a elementary school field trip every year? Was that a place that you went often?
Actually, no. I've only been like once or twice. Actually, I think I've only been once with my dad. Um, you know, Ohio, the Midwest as well, is very big on football,
Hmm.
mostly. Obviously baseball is very, very big too, and basketball. But especially where I'm from, football, which is kind of hilarious and ironic because our team is the Cleveland Browns, and if you know anything about football, they are always terrible. Um, yeah, I mean, to be so honest, I'm not much of a sports person. I don't really like consume sports media too often. I'm on like sports TikTok right now, which I love. I'm watching like best plays in the NFL.
Sure.
That's great. But like if you were to tell me, like who's on the Browns roster this year, I would be like, I don't know. I don't know.
You could list 20 names for me and I wouldn't. I know I can tell you what's happening in a game usually, like the
Oh
basic
yeah.
rules, but that's where it ends. I don't know anyone. I don't know teams. I will watch mostly for the commercials, and if there's a concert happening at halftime, I'm there.
Oh, 100%. Of course. Yeah, I mean, you know, my dad and my grandpa's like everyone was so into sports and football specifically. I think like as we talked about doing the magic and things like that, like I spent most of my free time doing that. So like maybe I'm weird in that way, but I feel like it gave me like the character development that I needed for today, you know?
Absolutely. Okay, so first, congratulations on your off Broadway debut. That's
Thank you.
very exciting. Have you been a theater kid always? Was this a more recent development?
Yeah, so I started theater in high school. Kind of reluctantly. My sister Kristen, my older sister, her boyfriend at the time was one of the like thespians at our school, and he did all the shows and he loved it. And I was doing band and choir, and so he basically came up to me. He was like, "Jake, you should audition for the musical." It was my freshman year, and we were doing "Hello, My Baby." If you
Yes.
know the classic like tune, yep, it's a musical. Didn't know that. But yeah, so that was my first musical. I kind of got accumulated to doing the singing, acting, dancing all together. I was in the ensemble, but it was a lot of fun. And I was like, wait, this isn't as weird as I thought it was going to be. Because I think I had a preconceived like notion of what theater looked like. Um, yeah, so that was kind of my first entrance into it, and then my end of my sophomore year, going into my junior year. We did Hairspray my sophomore year. I played Link, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is so fun!" And then my junior year, we did Mamma Mia, and I was
Yes.
really, really falling in love with the show, with theater itself. I was kind of like, "Wow, this is a lot of fun." So I decided I was like, I'm going to take some voice lessons, see how that goes. Because I never take voice lessons before, so I was like, okay, let's see what this is like. And when I was taking voice lessons, one of the kids that was before me was talking about auditioning for musical theater for college. And so my life, I wanted to be an engineer for a long time. My grandpa was an engineer. I'm very math and science oriented, like in my brain. So I was like, perfect. Engineering is going to be great. And then this guy was talking about musical theater auditions, and I was like, you can audition for that? That's a thing? And so actually, what I didn't know is that the kid that was auditioning for musical theater schools, we grew up together, and our moms like did baby yoga when we were kids or
Sure.
something together, and they were friends. Very random connection, but like very cool. And so the school that I ended up getting into and went to, Kent State, we met actually at that audition again, and I was like, "Oh, dude, like so nice to see you." Like it was really, really cool. So I think that moment kind of showed me, wow, you can do this as a career. Like I guess I didn't even know that was an option. I love being creative, and I love to sing, dance, and act, all those things. So I was like, why not? Let's do it.
That's so cool. And so you did it. You got through. You graduated. And then when did you move to the city?
Yeah, so I graduated last year in 2024,
Okay.
which is crazy. It sounds like so short ago, a short time ago, but also so long ago. And then I moved here. I graduated in May, and then I moved here in June, beginning of June.
Okay.
So I've
So
been here for about a year and a few months.
yeah, congratulate. That's awesome. So what has your experience been
Thanks.
just living in the city? Did you ever think living in New York City ever a thought before doing the musical theater thing?
Not necessarily. I definitely think that once I found the world of musicals, I was like, oh, I guess I was like, oh, okay, New York's cool, whatever. But then seeing like the world of musical theater and what that world looks like, especially in the city, I was like, oh, I'm moving there. I actually I have a matching tattoo with my mom. It's kind of it's hard to see. It's upside down, but it says there's no certainty, only adventure, and it is the New York skyline.
Oh, I love that, Jake. I
Yeah.
love
So
that.
it's and I got that before I moved here. I got that maybe 2 years ago with my mom, and so New York has been a dream come true in so many ways, and as we all know, it's challenging, but so fulfilling at the end of the day. The connections and the people you meet here, like, and their different stories and backgrounds culturally, everything is just so great. And being the extrovert that I am, I love it because I feel like I can meet new people. Uh, and even from sober songs, for example, I have made lifelong friends that have come from very different backgrounds, which is really cool.
Absolutely, a great segue there, Jake. Thanks so much. So
Oh, oh, of course.
I got to see Jake in Sober Songs, this musical. So tell me a little bit about the process of auditioning for that, and then what was it like getting to perform in an off-Broadway theater?
Yeah, so the audition process was actually the most like painless. Like there was the easiest process I think I've ever done for any audition. Um, I sent all my materials to my agents. I sent my vocal reel. I had to film one of the monologues from the show, for like one of Dean's
Hmm.
monologues, and that was it. And then actually, I was took myself out to dinner because I got the job at Lifetime as a trainer, so I was excited about that. And so I was like, yes, win. That same day, I'm at dinner eating, and my agent calls and is like, hey, you booked the show. And I'm like, okay, awesome. So I packed my food up and I was like, now I got to figure out the real life stuff because we started rehearsals. I think I got that text like, or that call, um, oh God, like 5 days before rehearsal started.
Oh, of course.
So it was real quick. So I was like, okay, and life. So then I, went through all my avenues, contacted everybody at work, told the new people at Lifetime that I literally just cut the job with. I was like, hey, so I booked this show. I would love to still work here, but I am going to be in rehearsal all day, every day for a month. And they were like, no worries. Thanks for letting us know. We'll make it happen, which was really great.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was
Sorry.
just gonna say I've realized that about New York City is everyone understands that, especially or at least anyone that knows artists or creative people, we are always side hustling to make the creative part of our lives what we do every day. And until then, we do have to have the job at Lifetime, waiting tables, what have you. And I have
Right.
been very appreciative of that, of them knowing that, oh, there is a chance that these people will call us and be like, hey, I'm going to be out for the next month. Is that cool? And usually they're like, yeah, we've been through this before. We understand. Go do you, and we'll see you when you come back.
Right. 100%.
Yeah. So then you
Yeah.
rehearsed for a month, and then what were performances like?
Yeah, so after rehearsals, it felt almost like so quick that we jumped into shows. The rehearsal process, like there was a lot of change, obviously as any new work does, through the process. And so as soon as we got into shows, it was like, I can't believe we're here. It was just kind of like a surreal moment to just sit back to, even when we were teching, like, wow, I can't believe we're doing performances already. Like the month just flew by so fast. Um, but performing on the stage every night was so much fun. We obviously had to kind of find our rhythm. I think at first there were some like subtle changes, especially through previews. But once everything kind of like settled in and locked in, everyone had such a blast every night. That cast is, again, like I said, our lifelong friends. And I think you could tell based on like what you maybe saw on stage, like we have a good time. We were having a good time every night. It doesn't matter what happened the night before, the day of, you know what I mean? Like in our normal day lives, everyday lives. We came into the theater and we just had a blast together. It was so much fun.
Oh, I love hearing that. It always makes me. I always think about like that saying of don't always meet your heroes because you see them one way on screen or on stage, and then they're not that person in real life. So I always wonder
Yeah.
if casts, and we all have our days, but for the most part, I always hope that casts are having just as much fun that we are seeing on stage when we aren't seeing them if they're backstage or living their own lives. So that's very good and very fun to
Yeah.
hear. You also were an understudy for this show, correct?
Yes.
Had you ever done that before Sober Songs?
Yeah, so I had done some understudy work before, and I was also a swing, which was very difficult. I ended up when I was a swing performing, and that was actually when I was in school. So I was in class all day and also swinging a show. And like I remember, I got the call that I was going on for the first time at like 2 p.m. and I had never performed this track before. So, I was like, I have class the rest of the day. Like, I got to figure this out. So yes, I had done some understudy and swing work in the past, and I did get to go on. I don't know which day you saw the show, but I did get to go on for Sober Songs, which was really really exciting. Um, I had a lot of support there. My agents got to come. All my friends came. My family came from Ohio. It was really great.
That's awesome. I saw you in the ensemble. I didn't see you in the lead role that night, but it was that show. My favorite moments were when you would like pair off and kind of do these like two-person tableaus. That's what I'm looking for. And we would
Yes.
learn more about the characters. That's when I
Hmm.
like really locked in, and I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
the storytelling that I love from a show. Did you have a moment in the show that you always looked forward to every performance?
There were a few. I mean, like I said, it was just so much fun, especially being in the ensemble, like with Lenny, who was also in the ensemble, and Sarah. Like our tracks were a little more lax than a lot of the other like leading parts, which was had its ups and downs, but in the best ways. We could kind of like really enjoy our time on stage together, which was fun. But one of my favorite moments every night was when I would spin Melanie, who played Angie, in our little like number together. It was just really fun because we would do it in lift call every day,
Mm-hmm.
and I would just like continue to spin her because she would just float. You know what I mean? And so that was kind of like our funny moment of we would just like spin around, laugh, and you know, it was great. That's probably one of my favorite moments. Um,
Oh, I love
yeah, I'm
that.
trying to think. Honestly, anything with Lenny too. If I could like be with Lenny on stage, we had a blast.
Yes. Yes. Um, and now like left turn, but working at Lifetime, um,
Mm.
was is the other side of things. I don't always feel like gym life and musical theater; those feel like very opposite things, but I think they do actually go together really well.
Hmm.
How did you find like a passion and desire to not only like want to work out, but then like teach other people?
Yeah, so when I was in college, I was in a point class and I was partnering the girls. I was not in point, but I was like partnering the girls, lifting them, all these things. And I graduated high school at about 150, 155 pounds. I was very, very skinny, which is okay, but I wasn't able to lift the girls like I needed to and wanted to. So one of my friends that was in school with me and actually also works at Lifetime now, ironically in the city, which is really great. Um, was a personal trainer in college and also part of the musical theater program. So they trained me for free. Like we would get up before class every day at 6 a.m. We would go to the
Ooh.
gym and we would work out. It was really tough. I really didn't. My mom was in fitness for a long time. She taught group classes, things like that. She was also in the military, so like there was a lot there. Um, but I never really knew how to work out. It was something that I wasn't really comfortable doing. So it kind of scared me. But as I kind of grew and grew and grew and continued to exercise and find that love of like kind of bettering myself and making myself stronger, I realized that I also want to give people that confidence and excitement to go be a better version of themselves. Because like right now, for example, I weigh almost 180 pounds. So in the like almost 4 years I've been training, I've gained like 30 pounds of muscle, which is insane. If you look at a picture of me, like my freshman year of college versus what I look like now, two very different people. Um, but in the best way, I really do think that the world of theater, especially dance, and fitness go together really, really well. Because there's so much more than just like I feel like when people say the gym, they think of like the meathead guys that go in there with like their gallon jug and they're like, let's move some weight. Which there are still people like that.
Right.
But I think that finding a comfortability in the gym and in exercise and in your own body gives you a level of comfort and confidence, especially in the world that we're in musical theater. We go audition every day and put ourselves out there, and it's so scary sometimes because it's like, I did so well, but it's not enough for what they want, right? And you never know what they want. But being able to go in there and be like, I felt good about myself today. Like I looked good, I sounded good. What I did in there, I'm happy with. Doesn't matter the outcome, you know?
Yes. Do you
So that's kind of the big thing. Yeah.
do you try to have when you go to auditions, do you always try to have that outlook of I know I did my best, I looked good, I felt good, I sounded good, and you just have to leave it up to the people that were in the room now?
100%. I mean, everyone's their worst critic for sure. So there are definitely days that I go in and, something didn't work out the way that I expected it to, or I was like, oh, I rehearsed this way and it didn't go as well as I wanted it to. But I'm trying to learn how to kind of take myself as I am every day. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
some days maybe I may be at 115%, and another day I may be at 20. But as long as I can bring the full 20%, all that I can give that day, that's all that matters.
Ooh, I love that, Jake. Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
yes. That we're locking that away. I like that a lot.
Okay.
I
Okay.
like that. And as someone
Thank you.
who has like very sporadically in my life attempted the gym for a couple weeks and then like this is not I am in over my head. It's nice to
Yep.
hear that there are some people that are working in the gym who have come from that same background and have found that
Yes.
comfortability and it is possible. So that's very nice to hear as well.
100%. And it looks different for everybody too. Fitness doesn't have to be you have to go 6 days a week or this. It's what you enjoy, right? At the end of the day, as long as you feel good and you feel like you're making progress. The biggest thing is just like for myself as a personal trainer, like holding somebody accountable. I wanted to skip the gym every day when I started. I did not want to go back, but having somebody hold me accountable and having somebody that cared for me and actually like wanted me to succeed, that's where I found my most success.
Yes, that's what I need in just in any aspect of my life. If I have someone that I know is like expecting and counting on me, it's gonna happen. I might not be happy about it
Yeah.
always, but it's going to happen, and I usually feel better once it's done.
Oh, 100%.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So I want to stick on the musical theater life track for just a minute. I saw
Yeah.
that you're also getting ready to. Is it Scream? Is that what you're working on, or a new musical right now?
It's so we're actually doing just like a cabaret,
Okay.
like a Halloween cabaret at 40 wife Green Room 42. Yeah, thank
I
you.
get them all confused. All people are like, it's this one and this one. I'm like, they all sound the same, and I can never remember what the name
One of the
actually is.
places.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, I'm doing a cabaret actually with some people. The people that are producing it work at Lifetime with me that are also performers. So
How cool. That's awesome. Okay, so
yeah,
Lifetime here in New York City, also full of musical theater people, which is just so nice to know. We can
it's the pipeline.
exactly.
Yeah.
Are you guys ever is there ever like a playlist playing out loud and it's just like musical theater bops? Is that ever allowed?
Oh, like at the gym?
Yeah.
I can't say that out loud, but like I can definitely say on my headphones, like 100%. Let's see. Today I was listening to some 35 millimeter while I was at the
Yes.
gym. So like you just if you need a good gym playlist, I have like a 72-hour one that's like all of the music that I've just like accumulated over the years.
Okay, I might need a
Yeah.
link to that. We might need to share a link to that, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay, okay, okay.
Um, I also want to read this. On your website, you describe yourself as a quote very active goofball.
Mm.
Is that a description you have given to yourself? Is that something that family and friends have always said? Where does that come from?
A little bit of both. I would say sure that title maybe in itself is like self-proclaimed. But I have always been such a silly person.
Mm.
I if you meet me and you really get to know me, like I always am an optimist. So like at the end of the day, like let's just laugh, and that's when life is good. Um, so I definitely think that the goofball side of things, 100%. Like sure, when I need to be serious about something, like of course. But like life is already serious as it is, so like let's have fun and have a good time. And that's kind of like where the goofball uh kind of comes from. So yeah, 100% always a goofball. My family always says that like you're so funny, you're so silly, all these things. And then the active part is, I mean, that comes from all kinds of stuff. Obviously like physically, but I'm the type of person that I don't sit down well. Like my calendar is always booked. I like to be on the move. Just because it's more fun to me. Like I have very undiagnosed, I'm sure, ADHD. So like, being able to kind of like hop around from place to place, do what I want to do is really nice. Like I have a note that I use every day that I have to write down all the things I have to do, and I just check them off as I go, and it's like on to the next.
Okay, but it is impressive as I am someone that just recently was diagnosed with ADHD, so it's impressive that you are able to still put that everything in the note and check it off, because that's where I hit my limit. Is like, oh, if I wrote it, I know if I wrote it down, it would get done, but it's the writing it down part that gets me every time.
It's tough. I'm calling this like maybe the cocoon stage, or like where I'm like rebuilding and
Ooh,
regrowing.
okay.
So I'm really like inside myself trying to work on certain things, with organization, for example.
Hmm.
I've had a tendency in the past to like push things off last second. And so, as we all do, a little bit of procrastination here and there. I'm trying to be on top of things and see how that might benefit me in the future.
I can relate to that 100%. I love a crunch minute because that's when I know I'll get things done. But I've also realized if I just do it 2 days earlier, I'm not worried about it anymore, as opposed to,
100%.
staying up until 2 a.m. getting something done. So that I can relate to that 100%.
I'm leaving that in high school. Yeah.
So are you still a practicing magician? Is there ever a moment we could see you doing a trick or two?
I can't say that I do it quite often. Occasionally, if you catch me, like when I go audition, I always have a deck of cards with me,
Hmm.
and I always have a yo-yo. If you go deep enough into my, this is a fun like little scavenger hunt for yourself if you'd like. If you go deep enough into my YouTube channel, you can see me yo-yoing. So this is one of my hobbies too.
Yes.
I would go to yo-yo competitions. And so yeah, I would like yo-yo to music. It was like a very choreographed thing, very similar to dance. So again, I think that was kind of like my intro into the world of like you will like theater and dance and storytelling and yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, Jake, this is all making sense in the best way, and I love it.
Oh, 100%. So come find me at Pearl and I'll like just give you a show.
Perfect. Listen, and I would sit there through it all, as long or as short as you made it. I would be there, focused, dialed in. It would be
I appreciate it.
incredible. So what is there a show you would love to be in right now that you've seen, or that you're hoping might become a reality one day?
Oh, 100%. Outsiders all day, every
Hmm.
day. Um, you know, I'm ready for that. I'm opening up to it. I also think like, everyone loves Hadestown, but that show's so great. I play guitar and I'm currently like going through lessons again now that the show's over and I have a little more time. I'm really learning to actually play the guitar, similar to like how I learned the trumpet, right? I could always play songs, but I want to sit down and learn how to like, well, how can I read music and actually play fun music?
Absolutely.
So I've started a new challenge on social media where every Wednesday I post something new and fitness related, right? Just to like keep me accountable, like, hey, I'm still exercising. And then every Friday I learn a new song on my guitar where I sing and play.
Oh, I love that. So what have you learned? What have you
Yes.
learned recently, Jake?
So I just did Fast Car
Of
by Tracy
course,
Chapman, which is
yes.
beautiful. And we're doing some Jason Mraz this week.
Okay.
Yeah, so like just kind
Yes.
of like whatever I'm feeling. I have a list of things. There's going to be some wants coming up here
Of
soon.
course.
I'm definitely going to want to do some duets, you know what I mean? Like kind of add those in there.
And
Yeah.
who are we manifesting joins you in these duets?
Honestly, I might use some of my castmates
Sure.
from the show. Also our pianist Devin, who I adore, in Sober Songs. We would sing something every show, right? Like before a house would open, we would sing a song together. We did some Parade, we did Wicked, like whatever we were feeling that day, we would do. So hopefully I can get him in on a song and like we can do a little jam together.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm so excited. I will be impatiently waiting to see these, Jake. That's so exciting. That's awesome.
I appreciate that.
Well,
Yeah.
congratulations again on all of this just excitement, and how did it feel to have your family come and get to see you performing in New York?
Yeah, it was really great. Especially like my dad came with my stepmom, and then my mom came with my grandma, so her mom, and then my dad's parents came as well. So I had like a nice group of family come. And when I got off the stage and saw them after, like they were all crying. So it's so nice to have that support, even though it's, from afar, like they're in Ohio and in South
Hmm.
Carolina. But yeah, having them there meant the world. You know, all my family is such a great support system, and they really do support me in every way possible, which is really hard because, sometimes in this industry, if you don't have the right support, it's tough. Um, so having them there meant everything to me. Yeah, and I could hear them cheering and see them in the audience. It was very sweet. Uh, and they always want to come see everything, and I'm like, guys, like, let's pick and choose. We don't have to come to my cabaret. Just like watch it online. It's okay.
I will feel your presence through the screen. I promise.
Exactly.
Send me pictures. It'll be great. Yes,
Yes.
I feel that.
Exactly.
Yes, my being the like one family member who's really left. My family's all in Memphis, Tennessee for the most part,
Okay.
and so I'm the one that has moved away, and so it's a fun like my sister actually just came and visited the city for the first time, but also me, and so like picking and choosing like is this the best time? Are we going to find everything we need to do? I very
Yep.
much uh, and just having the time to see them because as you know on that schedule it is 180 from every other person's normal life schedule, so that's been a fun
Oh,
thing
100%.
figuring that out.
Yeah. But it's great, and I always tell them, I mean, I'm about to move into a new place, which will have more space, but I'm like, whenever you want, I have an air mattress.
Yes, our couch folds out into a bed and I'm like,
Oh,
it,
that's perfect.
if you are up for it's a one bedroom, we don't have a ton of space, but like the living
Right.
room can be your bedroom for a few days if you're up for that, so
Most
it's here
definitely.
waiting for you. I love that.
Yeah.
um
Yes.
and so you've been in New York City now for just over a year. Do you have a favorite moment? Is there something that has kind of like that gets you excited? What's been the last year living in the city like?
Yeah, so this is kind of a crazy like whirlwind of events. So when I first moved here in June,
Hmm.
I had a friend reach out to me, like probably 2 weeks into me moving to the city, and he texted me and he was like, "Hey, um, are you able, like, do you have a black suit?" That was all I got, and I was like, um, "Yeah, why?" Keep in mind I didn't have a black
Of
suit, but
course.
yeah, why? And he was like, "We need somebody to work the Tonys. Like, we need somebody to go to the like help the production team with the Tonys. Like, would you be able to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I had to work that day at like I worked at Target when I first moved here because that's where I worked in college.
Hmm.
So I was like, "Sorry, Target," but I did call off. I was like, "If nobody picks my shift up, I'm calling off. I don't care." But so my grandma, like one that came to see the show, I told her that I was doing the Tonys, and she's like, "I'll buy your suit. I'm so excited for you." So she literally like I went to Macy's, I got a suit. It was amazing, and like that was kind of a like really okay. Um, but yeah, so I ended up working the Tonys last year, and so I was part of the production team. So I had like an in-ear mic, like or in-ear monitor, with a walkie-talkie. I had an all-access pass,
Yes.
so like I could go anywhere. They're like, you can literally go anywhere you want, just don't get in anybody's way, and you'll be fine. So I was backstage, and I have a friend of a friend in Hell's Kitchen, and so they were going on stage, like they were waiting back in the wings, and I saw him. His name's Oscar, and I was like, "Oh my God, you're Oscar, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, I'm Jake. I'm friends with blah blah blah." And so that was like really really cool too. But just being in that environment right when I moved here was awesome.
Yeah.
It was so cool. I met so many great people. Um, those people like did the Beyonce halftime show
Yes.
that she did not too long ago, and so like they're cool people, you know what I mean? And so like I have pictures, I think on my Instagram at the Tonys like on the stage. It was so that's probably my favorite New York story as of right now.
Oh, Jake, I'm 100% jealous. That's
It was crazy.
incredible. Did you I'm actually currently merch selling. I'm the merch manager at Hell's Kitchen. So you saying that, I was like, "Oh,
Oh, cool.
yeah." So I'm down in the lower lobby every night selling t-shirts and CDs and magnets and whatever else people want.
Oh my
Um
God. So if I come back, I'll have to come down and say hello.
Please, yes, please do. Um, and are you getting to? Is there ever an opportunity to go back and do something at the Tonys again, or was that just kind of a one-off? Like it just happened to work out?
It happened to work out this time. It was a different production company this time, actually,
Mm,
because my one of the people that I worked with that I'm kind of closer with now, I actually texted him before the Tonys, and he was like, they went with somebody else. So that connection is always still there. Me and this person that are very close friends, and the person that actually let me do this and got me this, used to work like at Open Jar and was like high up in
yes,
Open Jar. But he recently retired, so shout out to you, Hugh. Thank you for everything. But yeah, so I'm hoping that in the future I can do it again, but like, ideally I'll be on the stage and not backstage.
absolutely. And then when you're on stage, you let them know I'll come be backstage. I also don't have a black suit at the moment, but happy. Who doesn't need a black suit? So
Oh, for the
just let me
Tonys,
know.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
great.
Just
I'm
I'm
like, hey, I
there.
got somebody. Of course.
I'm there. I'm there.
So,
Um,
look, you help me, I help you 100%. I'm gonna give you
exactly.
that step.
We're gonna scratch. We'll scratch each other's backs for as long as we can. It'll be.
Exactly.
It'll be perfect.
Exactly.
That's so cool, Jake. That is one thing. I moved here in March, so I had a little group over, and we watched the Tonys this year. And I got to go be
Mm.
down by Radio City the morning of, so that I was seeing people walk in, and they had all the signs up. So I've been like slowly manifesting, like in the next few years, I hope to at least be there in the seat, if not somehow like red carpet or backstage, whatever they need.
Oh,
So
100%.
congratulations. That's really, oh, that's so cool. That's
Manifesting
so
that for
cool.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, and I actually I don't know the order of these, but I actually just interviewed my mom as well. So she will be on the podcast soon. And so we were kind of talking
All
about
fun.
stories of being like oldest sibling and having younger siblings. Did you ever feel like, my mom always said I'm the guinea pig. I am the one that they will try everything on. Was that similar in your family of like, well, Jake's the oldest, so we'll figure out if things do and don't work and go from there?
Oh, 100%. I definitely got the strictest of everything. Like I
Mm-hmm.
have the strict, you have to be home at this time curfew and all those things. And in high school, I had a long term, I dated the same girl for like 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So like, that was also new navigating like how does a relationship look like for our kids? You know what I mean? And so, yes, I would say I was the guinea pig, but like I was also responsible enough to where my parents were a little more trusting, which is
Mm-hmm.
nice. Um, I didn't take advantage of their trust, which I guess helped me in some ways.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, definitely the guinea pig for sure. I got the shorthand, unfortunately.
Oh, can relate 100%. By the watching my youngest sister like get through high school. Granted, her senior year was like the first year of COVID, so she was just at home doing high school. So like
Mm,
that alone is not fun. But watching them like just how they dealt with her, I was like, "Oh, you're just tired now." And they're like, "Just be
yeah.
home. Just like be here and,
Yep.
yeah." Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, even my sister, my youngest sister, like full sister Lila, is a senior this year.
Mhm.
And yeah, she'll come home late and they'll be like, Lila, you can't come home late, but she won't get in trouble. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I would be 2 minutes late and I'm grounded for a week.
Yep.
So where's the give and take?
Absolutely. And so were you in college during that? Just kind of hit me. Were you in college during like COVID times?
Yeah, so my senior year of high school, the second half was the start of COVID. So yeah, we did like my graduation was virtual and then
Oh,
in my driveway, which was tough. And then yeah, my entire freshman year was virtual. I did stay on campus though, and our friends had an apartment, so we would just like party every day.
yes. Okay. I'm glad you had some
So
fun experiences because hearing other people talk about that, I'm like, oh, I would not have enjoyed it in the least.
Yeah, it was mostly just our class. So like obviously we would see our classmates.
Mm-hmm.
Like my musical theater class at the time I think was like 18 people.
Okay.
So like most of us would like get together and hang out, but that was it. Obviously we didn't want to like be spreading
Right.
anything. So but it was weird for sure. And even looking back now, it's kind of surreal to think that COVID was happening not too long ago, a few years
Yes.
ago.
Yes. I've seen like a few hints at like TV shows or even like theater of some kind of starting to tell COVID stories. And I'm like, are we separated enough yet? Are we far enough away that it's time to tell those
Too soon.
stories? I agree.
Yeah.
It especially did you ever watch Grey's Anatomy?
I was not a Grey's Anatomy person, no, but Jocelyn in the cast, if you want to talk to her, she rewatches them religiously.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there was a couple seasons there like during COVID where they were also like dealing with COVID, and I was like, oh no,
You're
that's
like,
when I stopped. I was like, this is too much.
yep.
I'm just supposed to be escaping right now, and we're not doing
Oh,
that.
geez.
So
Yeah.
that's when I had to pump the brakes. So maybe I'll watch it now. We'll see. We'll see. Um,
Yeah.
and so, Jake, another question I'm trying to ask and am asking everyone is, you're getting to tell all kinds of stories as a performer. So, why do you
Yeah.
think storytelling is so important?
Yeah. I mean, kind of similar to what you just said about like the whole COVID situation, but when we hear stories, it kind of takes us out of reality a little bit. For most people, we don't want to sit down and hear a textbook, you know what I mean, about like this happened and we need to learn this from this. The whole point of having any story at all, right, is to like create some kind of message that you're supposed to learn. Um, yeah, so storytelling honestly is the base of what we do in our lives. Even if it's not like a fictional story, even if we're telling a story about something that we did the other day, like that is still a level of storytelling. And so, you know, our entire lives and relationships are kind of built off of that. Because, like, if you want to get to know somebody, right? Like, tell me about your siblings, like what we were talking about here. Like, I'm going to tell you a story about what actually happened. So, storytelling is so important. And I think that is how we can, like, really connect with people authentically. And I always said this, and I said this a lot during 2016 with all the world of everything that's
Mm-hmm.
going on right now
Mm-hmm.
too. Um, Taking classes in theater and storytelling teaches a level of empathy that you can't get at a base level.
Mm.
Um, and so, you know, if everybody can just get a glimpse, a real glimpse of like what storytelling is and how often it's used, I think that that can like open up a world of empathy to a lot of people so that like we aren't so harsh on our peers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But
Oh,
from yeah, yeah,
I love that, Jake.
I appreciate it.
I love that. And what else were
But
you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, but yeah, no, storytelling for me obviously is kind of an escape sometimes, especially like in a theatrical setting, an escape in a healthy way, I should say, because it's a way to tell someone else's story, and you as the actor get to step into a new set of shoes that you usually don't live, and again, that kind of helps create a level of empathy for other people, right? If I am stepping into someone's shoes, that's like I don't know. I in the show I did play kind of a frat bro, but like somebody that is like frat-esque, right? Like I don't really know what that life is like necessarily, but like that's really important to this person. So how can I understand where they're coming from, right? And empathize with them, but also be able to be self-reflective, if that makes sense.
Mm. Yes.
Um, yeah,
Yes, Jake. And that's what I love about theater too is you do get to it tells stories that either one you've never experienced before, so it opens that new world for you, or you're
yeah,
getting to see your story told to hundreds of other people who don't know that story yet. Um, and I that's one reason why I absolutely love theater is it tells story in a unique way, and opens a world to people they otherwise wouldn't be subjected to.
Yes, and really quick to hop off of that, something that my theater director in high school would always say is, you never know who's in the audience and who needs to hear this today. Because, especially in New York City, there is just a vast range of people that come from, like I said, all backgrounds. So, something that may not be really important to you that sounds silly may actually be very, very important and something that somebody really needs to hear that day. So
Yes.
that's what I love about storytelling too, is it's like it's healing to others, right? If done well, it's very healing to others.
Absolutely. Yes. A good qualifier. If done well, it is very healing. Yes, absolutely. And that sparked one more question in my brain. What is
Mhm.
your process of stepping into shoes of a frat bro or a character that you don't necessarily have that direct connection with?
100%. So there's definitely like cliche things you can step into, which can, I think, create like a base. What does that look like, and how do we tone that down to be something real? Um, my character for Sober Songs, for example, is like this frat bro guy that like this is my I'm gonna give you the background so this will make sense to my process. He was essentially a frat bro. He's still in college, and he's forced to forced to go to AA because he got in trouble by the police. So he has a court order where he's like he has to go. So at the beginning of the show, not to spoil later iterations of the show, but I'm gonna make some spoilers. So spoiler alert.
Skip if you don't want to hear
Um,
him. Skip if you don't want to hear him.
exactly. But so in the first half of the show through Act One, this whole AA thing for my character is like, this is so stupid. Like, of course I'm gonna drink and party. Like, it's not that serious. There's no problems, right? Like, I'm having a good time. One of the main characters, Roque, passes away
Hmm.
from an overdose. Um, and so we're part of this home group, right? So like, I get to know these people because we're through a lot of meetings and I have to be there, all these things. So when Roque ends up passing away, this is a big shift for my character because it's like, oh my God, holy shit, somebody that I knew just died from all of this. Right now it becomes real. I didn't really know him too well. He was like not really a great friend to me, but he's still somebody that I knew a lot and cared about. So my act two like arc change for my ensemble character essentially was that like I need to take this seriously because this is ruining people's lives and look how it's affected other people around it. Um, so I really think that you get you take everything scene by scene. Like, oh, and my character had a crush on Nina, so I didn't like Roque at the beginning. I thought that was just fun to throw in there. So like the arc is
Absolutely.
like, wow, I should have given him a chance. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's what's really nice is doing some research, pulling in memories and stories from your past of people you've met similar to this character, and how can you kind of like channel them and their isms, so to speak, into what you're doing. So I going to college and being a gym guy, I have met lots of frat bros. And some of them are a lot cooler than others. So like kind of and again, nothing wrong with that. That's just how they are. So how do I kind of pull some of that into that character, right? And then also just reading the scene for what it is, right? Like, um, if somebody's passing away, it doesn't matter. Like somebody just died and somebody's coming in all distraught. Like my character is at least enough respectful to like give the moment. Um, and then taking it genuinely every day. That's what's so fun about live theater is it changes every single day. And so
Hmm.
like something may feel really, really sad one day, but the next day it's a little more anger, right? Just kind of depending on how I'm feeling. So I think that's kind of a piece of it too, is setting a foundation of what it looks like and then let it be. After the work is done, let it be and take it as it is every day, and you kind of get a fun mix of what happens.
Yeah, absolutely, Jake. Oh, I've never thought about it. I've done a little like community theater. I did some theater in college, but I never thought about taking isms, parts of people that you've met, and
Mm-hmm.
incorporating that. That's such a smart way to do it too. I've always just thought about like, well, I've never had that experience, so let me like YouTube or like let me just search and kind of like think of what I might
Yeah.
respond. But having pulling from other people that you know, that's a really interesting way to do it too.
Yeah, and I'm a very visual person. Like
Hmm.
I'm a visual learner for the most part. So being able to like see somebody have that and recall that is helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well,
Yeah.
Jake, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your
Thank you.
stories. If we want to follow along and we want to see your workouts on Wednesdays and New Song Fridays, how do we do that? Where do we go?
Yeah, so you can go to two ways. I would say first you can go to my Instagram. That's gonna have like all of my links and everything. But it's gonna be Jake underscore Cleve, Kleve. That's my Instagram, and then my website is the same name without the underscore. So jakecleve.com.
Perfect. And I can confirm both of these things. They are there and they are full of content, and you will have a blast. Jake, I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for everything. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Stories on Tape. If you're not following us on Instagram, go check us out, Stories on Tape Pod. And if you have a story you want to share, email us, storiesontapepodcast@gmail.com. Please rate, subscribe, and make sure you share with your friends, family, anyone that you think might enjoy a story on tape. We'll see you next week.